Hey everybody, hope you all doing all right. What I saw, I saw it a few days ago. I think was that the first time I saw it. I don't know, but I just saw more stuff that happened concerning this particular topic earlier today. And this is something that I think is affected. I'm talking about Harris, but that's what's on my mind. I haven't shared that with you guys yet, but that's what's on my mind now is Harris and some of the comments and things that she said lately, and also in the connection to that and the psychology that I think the evil ones, are trying to project onto the masses, and especially in this particular instance, women, because the remark she made is in regards to women specifically, and it was a remark about how not all women. Okay, first somebody, I forget who it was, but it was a female on the Republican sides who was essentially in a kind of a weird way trying to encourage Harris to be more humble, or she was like calling, like, saying that Harris isn't very humble and that she could be humbled. It would serve her good to be humbled, something along those lines. Which I totally agree. We should all seek to be more humble. And if you look at that word, there's a few different definitions, but the definition that I most highly associate, and like when I speak on the word humble and the way it makes me feel, it's not about being weak or unimportant or anything like that, in my opinion. It's about knowing who's above you, acknowledging that there are forces above us that have sway over this whole realm, that may have even created us and are helping us and are here, that want to assist us, that have been assisting us. I believe in that. Okay, and so for me, it's all about humbling myself and acknowledging that there is something above me. There is what I like to call, a God or a creator or a source or high vibrational beings that are above me, that may have that I feel had a part in my creation, in my life, and also they have a huge part in the way that this reality is orchestrated, in the way energy moves and travels, and the trajectories that things go. So, and it's in my opinion that humanity has become way, 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 way too obsessed with their own selfish power in regards to the environment, in regards to animals, in regards to other human beings. We care more about ourselves and our own little piece of the pie than ever before. And the results are in. Like 70% of our wildlife has been destroyed in the past 50 years alone. 50 years. That's not very much time at all. We've killed 70% of our wildlife. Like, what the fuck? Just so we can get by with what we need. When they've already known, like the people in power have known about the hemp plant. Okay, this is what really bugs me about these people, is they know there are alternatives to the way that we go about consuming shit. They choose not to use them because it goes against their agenda. Their agenda, again, is to perpetuate death and destruction and chaos. They feed off of that like we feed off of love. So they're not going to want products that are good for the environment. They're not going to want products that are good for your body. They're not going to want products that are good for the animals. No, they want the exact opposite. And they want you paying for it so that you are perpetuating more negative karma for yourself and the rest of the world, and you're fattening their pocketbooks. So it's a win-win for them and it's a lose-lose for us. I'm sitting here trying to tell us that we can do the opposite. We can be a win-win for us and a lose-lose for them by redirecting our attention and our money and our resources into the hemp plant, and discontinue these profit-driven markets and discontinue these profit-driven the capitalism. We need to stop with the capitalism shit. Like, enough is enough, dude. Like, how long is it going to take for Americans to realize capitalism is one of the, if not the main reason why there's so much corruption in America? The love of money is the root of all evil. I mean, it's in the good book. I think that's from Matthew. So anyway, again, going back to Harris and her remarks on how not all women want to seek to be humble. Like, it's sad too, because and this is something I've picked up from a lot of females, and I think it goes into the programming that they have orchestrated on the populace, especially here in America, is to perpetuate and to breed more human beings that are more cold, self-centered, hard, and just not caring, not forgiving, not compassionate, have no empathy, don't really give a shit about other people. Like, that's exactly what they're trying to project. And then you have now Harris, who is the current vice president and seeking to be the president of America, essentially encouraging, she's not encouraging, but she's saying she's definitely not encouraging people to be humble. That's for one. When, in my opinion, that's exactly what we need, is somebody to encourage more humbleness. In times with so much strife, in times with so much hate, in times with so much pain, we need to humble ourselves and repent. Seriously. Now, I'm not a traditional Christian, but I believe in a lot of the core values of the Bible and the good book. And I believe that those are the truths, those are the codes that can free not only the individual, but also the collective from a state of of bondage, which is where we're at. We're all being bonded by certain things, whether it's your job or it's your addictions or your dependencies on all this bullshit, this grid fucking satanic system. One way or another, we are all different levels, bondage. Now if you truly are living in harmony with nature out there, some people have, a lot less bondages than others, but most of us are very heavily in bondage or in debt dependent on this system. When I say debt, it's more about a karmatic baggage that we've developed based on our choices. Not everybody's in debt. I get that. I have a little bit of debt, but that's just me. But beyond, even if you're not in debt, if you're still in bondage, that's, you still ascend. And if you've perpetuated a bunch of negative shit into the atmosphere and you haven't done anything to try to clean it up, then you do have a debt that you owe to Mother Nature, essentially, which is something that needs to be worked off. And if you don't have the right type of leaders telling you that you need to do these types of things, you can be led astray. And that's on purpose. That's exactly what they want, is you to continue walking down that fucked up alleyway that's going to lead you down into a darker fucking hole of hell, as opposed to changing your ways, acknowledging when you make mistakes, like learning from your mistakes and turning them into lessons. That's what's going to help perpetuate a better reality for yourself and everybody around. But it takes humbleness in order to do that, because you have to be able to be like, fuck, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I messed up. I should have done better. I knew better and I still chose to fucking do this wrong thing because whatever, but I'm sorry. I'm sitting here on my knees in true, genuine, authentic fucking, sorrow for what I have done. That's what it takes right now. Like, we have really done a lot of fucked up things on this planet, in this reality, as human beings. And if we continue down this way, this selfish fucking way, which is what she, the whole call her daddy thing, like that whole vibe is very selfish. Like, there isn't much love, there isn't much empathy, there isn't much kindness, there isn't much, I want to help and I want to get better and I want humanity to get better. Like, that doesn't exist in what I'm seeing from Harris. She's trying to make it, like, she also just dropped the video with her holding a kid and looking up to the kid, which, by the way, there was a lot of humbleness in that video with the kid. I don't think she planned for it to look that way. She actually probably did. See, this is the way these motherfuckers work. Like, she's going to talk against humbleness, but she knows, because it's so powerful, because it comes from a loving place, people are going to be drawn to something that's loving like that. So she's going to use the power of love, even though she just spoke against it, in my opinion, to draw people in. And then as she draws people in, she's going to do with it as her own will, or not her will, it's who's ever governing her is going to do with it as they will. Excuse me. So be careful who you trust out here. Be careful who you put your allegiance in. Look to the fruits of these people. It's easy for people to stage that event, like getting a child, like all these types. You can stage that type of shit, okay? Like, it's not that hard. You just got to get enough people with enough money, pay some people, get them to do whatever, have some donations, things around loopholes to get them to do some things, get photographers to take some pictures in a particular type of way, and boom, you got yourself a story that can be a symbol that can affect billions of people. Doesn't mean she believes in it, though. It's very easy to do these things, okay? These are master actors. That's what they do. That's why they love Hollywood. Is all about that. Is about fucking putting forth an appearance to grab people's attention, to lure them in, and then to transmutate them to the fucking magician's fucking will. So that's exactly what she's doing here. And the fact that she's talking about not being humble, and then then today I'm seeing a picture of her holding a child and all these types of things, and it's like, the hell's, and then she's looking up to the child like, oh, you're an inspiration for me. Like, that is her, like, essentially looking up to something like a spirit of a child, which is essentially above her adult spirit in terms of innocence, and she's looking up to that and as an inspiration. Those were her own words. So she just made a video talking against being humble, and then she makes a video essentially showing humbleness itself. So it's like right there, it's two-faced as fuck. So this is how these people operate. Don't be fooled. All right, love you all. Bye.